Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our Tuesday discussion show. It's Esra, Aidas, and Yeva, volunteers from the Center for European Initiatives in studio in Stara Zagora. This program is co-funded by Erasmus Plus program of the European Union.
Welcome back, everybody. And today it's three of us. As we said, it's me, Aidas. I have Yeva next to me, and Esra.
Hello!
So, how are you doing, everybody?
All good, all good.
It's kind of not that sunny as it's always.
Yeah, I'm trying to adapt my body to, I don't know, get used to this weather. Because
Yeah.
yesterday was very sunny and the day before yesterday.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah, we have a saying in Lithuania that when the trees start blooming, it gets colder. So yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
But we're waiting for warm weather next week.
so yeah, we are back from our on-rail training. Yeah, so that's why we missed a week. So I hope you missed us.
We missed you guys.
So today we have our topic traveling on budget, and that's actually I think it's a very interesting topic for everybody, not only for us volunteers who don't have like that much money.
Exactly. And especially because traveling is like, I don't know, a very needed, want and need people want to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, everyone wants to travel and everyone would like and be interested to know ways to budget
Yep.
and travel in the cheapest way possible.
Okay, so first thing we're gonna be talking about is gonna be when and where to travel if you have no money. And just to say, we actually have me and Eva. We do like traveling a lot, so we do have some experiences. And Esther, she also travels a lot. She had one experience recently. We're gonna talk about it later soon in this show. Okay, so when and where to travel if you don't have if you don't have much money? What do you think? What would you choose if you didn't have much money?
If I don't have enough money, I will probably go to, like Africa, Asia, like this, because it's very cheap comparing to Europe and comparing to, I don't know, like United States and these countries. It's kind of developing countries, so you will get, to have everything there, have fun, go to restaurants and do like,
yes.
be like a tourist with a very minimum kind of money.
Well, yeah, of course, we're then because
Yeah.
well, if you went to the USA or something,
Yeah.
first of all, you'd spend a lot on tickets,
Yeah.
and the living there is not so cheap as well. Even Scandinavian countries and so on.
Yeah, I would also like to mention that if you like to travel to these destinations, you could check for the plane tickets. That would be cheaper, so you can plan in advance and
Exactly.
travel out of season.
Well, yes, of course. What I would say that first of all, you should think about when you travel. Well, because in summer, if you want to go to Syria or somewhere, season is almost always is gonna be much more pricey. And if you want to travel, do it maybe in autumn or winter, because well, it's still very hot in those countries, and you can travel much cheaper there.
Yeah, I mean, like coming to Egypt, if people want to come, they should pick, like the late summer, and it's gonna be
Yes,
cheap.
yes.
Yeah, and it's not gonna be winter. You will feel like it's summer because will be like 30 degrees. I mean,
Well, yeah, and,
Yeah.
And you can still hang out outside.
exactly. Yeah.
So one more thing I want to tell that you can try new places when you choose the destinations, and don't go to those like the most popular ones,
Exactly.
as they're gonna be
Yeah.
pricier, more
Yeah.
expensive, and if you choose some countries that are like, not
Yeah, like it's not knowing.
they're gonna be cheaper.
Yeah.
And not only that, but it also wouldn't be so crowded with tourists, because one of the things that gets me frustrated when I'm traveling is the tourists going around and taking pictures and just crowding the place. What do you think?
Oh, yes, of course.
I don't know. I feel like I like the vibes of being in a touristic
Really?
place. Yeah. I mean, like, because you get to meet a lot of people from everywhere, like literally everywhere, and yeah, you will get to hear someone speaking your language.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe that's
Yeah,
true.
and you feel like you're traveling. You're not in your country anymore. Like you're in a like a country, a new country, and not only you go there. Like you will meet a lot of people also traveling. I don't know.
Oh, yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's when and where. What about the whole plane ticket process? Of course, if you want to travel somewhere abroad, you have to buy tickets, right?
Yeah, like 6 weeks before.
Yes. So when and what kind of tickets? Where do you search for it?
Of course, the cheapest one, and like the lowest kind of level, not the business, not the VIP or anything, just the cheapest and the lowest.
Economic class, of course.
Yeah, economic, yes. And like if you can book like 6 weeks before your dates, or if you can book after before that, like 1 month or 2 months, that would be great. Because I made a mistake while coming here. I booked like 3 weeks before my flight date, and it cost me a lot money. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have an advice, a piece of advice. If you're looking for cheap flights, try a few websites. It's skyscanner.com
Yeah.
and jetradar.com. They usually have a very good deals there.
Exactly.
And of course, I don't know if anyone knows it, but usually when you use incognito or a private browsing mode, you can get much better prices. Well, because usually sites track how many times you enter the site, and they're gonna make tickets more expensive on purpose. And the other thing, I think you should travel light without many luggage. I think as you're gonna pay much more if you travel with big luggages.
Yeah. I mean, when I was traveling to Budapest, there was option in the flight while booking is if you're going to like bring one more than backpack or one more than suitcase, and I was like, no, thank you.
Well, yes,
I
of
will
course.
pack everything in just one backpack and save my money.
Yeah, and one more thing, I think you should when you're choosing this destination, you should always mind if you're gonna need a visa. And I think you have some experience in that, right?
Yeah, it's a very, very, very long process because you need a lot of documents. You have to make sure that the place you're going to provides you with all the documents, like I don't know, invitation, a proof that they're gonna fund your project if you're traveling on a volunteering project. Because in the embassy, they will be very like they want very detailed information, and yeah. Make sure also to apply for the visa earlier, because they might take time until they answer you, until they give you your visa. And yeah,
Yeah, of course, and you can, if you don't want to spend money on visas, just choose destinations which do not require visas.
yeah, exactly, yes. I mean,
So all in all, before moving to the music break, I would like to say that we should plan our trips like in advance. At
Yeah.
least before, be sure to check all the documents required and just make sure that our trip will be prepared for.
Yes, so now we're moving to our music break. I hope you're going to enjoy the music, and next up we're going to talk about what kind of accommodation to choose and what you can eat.
yeah, food.
Yep, so when you're traveling, I think a very big thing that you're thinking about is where you're gonna sleep, as it's not gonna be your home, not your bed, right? So, and usually accommodation takes a very big amount of money.
Yeah, that's why I chose the most easiest way.
Oh, yes.
In a challenging way, because you never know who the person you're going to sleep with.
I'm
And
talking about couchsurfing.
yeah,
yes?
couch surfing. Yeah.
Well, yes, that's one way. I think we're gonna be able to talk about it. Well, of course, it's kind of an accommodation, but I think right now we can talk about how to do it with not that much money, but still a paid one. What do you think? What can you like? Where can you go to sleep when you have little money?
For example, I have an experience with Airbnb, which turned out quite well because Airbnb is for renting a place from private owners, let's say. People are renting their flats or rooms or just a whole house. And you can have it in a smaller price than usually what the hotel would take. Do you have any experience renting Airbnb because my experience was quite good. I rented a room in Warsaw. I was there for a Coldplay concert like 2 years before, and the amount of money was not that big, and the room was very clean. Like there are a lot of references in the site of Airbnb, and you can find like what people think about the room, how is the place, like where are the parks, where are the public transport. So for me, it's very handy.
I'm, I mean, yeah, I heard about this app, and I actually downloaded it, but and many like all the reviews I hear about this app and the people rent are very positive, and people like very happy with the place and how it's clean. And I don't know. I also found out that all the places or all the apartments are very unique. Like you can find a tree house or I don't know, a place that is abundant, but it's very, has its own style and its own design, not like your normal apartment.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's because usually it is that the people who are living there, they're just renting out their house.
Yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
mean, their houses are unique.
Yeah, and because of that, you can feel like a local. Like
Yeah.
you can see the natural culture and the houses as they live there by the locals.
Yeah.
Just person.
Yeah, exactly. And I also have some experience with Airbnb, and it turned out to be quite good.
Do you guys like have the, I don't know, the advantage to ask the person you are renting from about the places to go?
Yes, about every you can ask about everything. Even if you meet in person, you can talk about whatever you want. Sometimes they can even take you if they're that kind of people. They can take you somewhere and show you around.
Wow, like you're having a place to stay in and a local friend.
Oh,
That's great.
So one more thing, I think that you have to first of all do your research about searching for hotels. Not to like book the first one that you saw on a page or somewhere, but look around. Maybe there is cheaper ones outside the center. Maybe you can, outside the city center, not buy the one that's directly in the middle of the city, as they can sometimes be more expensive.
But to be honest, I feel like it's kind of useless because the money you're not going to spend on your accommodation, you will going to pay it when you go outside and you want to reach the city.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
you have
it's
to
kind
take
of the
you have to
same
take in
deal.
mind that thing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you choose like traveling by car, I think that it wouldn't be that much problem of going somewhere
Yeah.
because you could use a car and like what is more because out of city you can get more quiet place, more
Yeah.
nature, and
Yeah.
it would also be good.
Yeah, but what
It's
kind
like
of
budgets, you
what
know.
kind of car do you mean?
Like if you're traveling by car, not by plane.
Oh, like with your car, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And one more thing, that, we have the Airbnb, but if you're not looking into living in someone's house, I think you can look out for hostels. These are usually they have shared apartments. Like you can, let's say, even get a room where there are 10 beds, and it's gonna be very cheap if you're just looking for a place to lie down and to be there for a night.
Yeah.
So hostels in that case are very good because they're very cheap.
And you can like also have search for a hostel that has a kitchen.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah, or like, and also you will get to meet people there because you're not gonna sleep alone or have
Oh,
your
yes.
own room.
Well,
Yeah.
talking about the kitchen, let's move on to the food. And of course, when you're in a hostel, if you have a kitchen there, I think you should. If you cook the meals yourself, you can save up some money, right?
Yeah.
Yes, of course, cooking your meals is always like the cheapest idea. But I think that's like most of us when we travel to some kind of destination, we're willing to taste the national cuisine, the national dishes that the country has.
Well, yeah, but it depends on the price. If you going really on budget, and the national cuisine is only in restaurants, I think you should skip it that time and maybe try something else.
Yeah, like sometimes we have to sacrifice this kind of privilege of tasting their food.
Well, yes. What about the fast food? At least there, right there in Bulgaria, we saw a tendency that fast food is much cheaper than let's say let's say if you cooked yourself like a very good meals, that you can buy fast food very cheap, right?
Yeah, I always find everywhere, the bakeries. Like,
bakeries,
yeah, they sell, like everything, and it's only like one level or less than that. So yeah, sometimes I feel like I'm confused. Should I like cook by myself or just every
Yeah.
day go and buy this and it will be enough for me? I'm not gonna be hungry or anything.
Well, yeah, but sometimes you have to also think about the nutrition of the meal.
Uh-huh.
As if you eat
Our
fast food,
doctor for today is
uh,
Idas.
let's say if you save some money for and buy fast food, you can pay a lot more for the doctors when you're sick later, right?
Yes, I know.
And one more thing, I think if you can find local markets around, you can always go there and find some cheap food or food in those as they are local, and usually they have let's say fruits and vegetables very cheap.
Yeah. And like if you want to also go to a supermarket, go at night. Trust me,
At night?
yeah, I tried it many times and everything like half the price. Yeah.
At night.
Yeah,
what, do you,
at
what, do-
night.
what do you mean?
Like go at night to.
Yeah,
make-
but they usually don't work at night.
no, they work choose like the supermarkets usually work 24 hours. Like
Oh, really?
CVS, we have. Yeah.
Well, that's nice. And if you, once again, let's go back to the local market. If you're choosing to go there, I would suggest you to learn a little bit how to haggle. Let's say to lower the price, as usually they're not telling you the real price, they're telling you higher one, and you can just negotiate for a lower price usually in the markets, in the local markets. Do you
It
have
can be kind of hard if you don't know the language. Like
Well,
me.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
always about language, but let's
Yeah.
say if you are in the English-speaking country,
Oh.
then you can easily do it.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So that is
My mom always do that, by the way.
oh, really.
Yeah, she likes to get
it-
everything.
Yeah, but it's when you're in your native country, yes. Okay, let's go to our next music break, and
Yeah.
after that we can talk about where to go and what to see in the cities
Awesome.
for a little lower price.
Yeah.
So welcome back after the music break.
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome. So I wanted to talk about what to do in a city. Let's say you're in a city and you don't have that much money. What do you do there to avoid spending a lot? So first of all, I think you should not go to bars and everywhere. As we told, don't go to the restaurants. But what kind of things to see and what to do to not spend that much money? What do you think?
The things that I do when I get to the city and I don't have money is that I go to the tourist info center. I take a free map there and I mark all the places that I want to visit, like circle them on the map. And afterwards I find out some information about it. If it's how much does it cost to enter the place, like how to get to the place, even if you need to take a bus or rent a bike to go there, or even maybe if you're traveling with a company you can rent a car.
That's
So-
very nice.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, of course, about the transportation. I think you should avoid taking taxis and everything. And as you said, renting a car. I think renting a car would be rather expensive, no?
It depends on where you are. For example, in Lithuania we have a very nice system which is called CityB, and this is a principle of renting a car by just downloading an app and like paying. I don't know how much it like goes right now. What's the
Well, it would. If you rent a car, it would be pretty expensive. But if you go to the bike, if you are taking a bike, then it would be much cheaper. So I think it's better not go for the car. As if you want to go for the whole day, you're gonna pay like 20 or 30 euros at least.
But if you're renting a car with like 5 people, these 20 or 30 euros like wouldn't be that much, I believe.
But still, I think that bicycle would be less expensive, no?
Of course.
Of course, okay. And if you have a chance, actually, you can just take local transport. But yeah, just mainly avoid taxis because they are very expensive, and in some countries they're actually trying to catch you very hard. Like they're standing everywhere, just saying, do you need me to take to you somewhere, and
Yeah.
like that.
They are very like the same in every country.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing, I think I would suggest you to walk around. Well, because if the city is rather small, you can just reach everywhere by foot.
Yeah, like
Well,
here.
Well, yeah, but of course, if you have to take the local transport, it's not that bad. As it's not very expensive anywhere.
Yeah, like I always walk. Like when I go here to the radio or the schools.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
It depends. If you're in the city center, it's really good to walk because you can even discover some small places that are very unique and special. To find some graffitis or drawings on things
Yeah.
that can inspire you even.
Yes, this is actually happens.
Well, yeah. What next? I think we can talk about a free traveling, a free way of traveling. What comes to your mind when I say free traveling?
I don't know, someone afford your travel tickets?
No, but absolutely free. What do you think? Nothing?
Volunteering.
Well, volunteering. Well, yes, of course. But I'm talking about traveling. And have you heard of hitchhiking?
No.
Hitchhiking, no?
No?
It's when you trying to stop cars on the road and you ask them to take where you need them, where you need to go.
Wow.
Have you heard of it? Like when I'm sure you have heard of it. It's just when you're standing on the side of the road and you're trying to stop a car and seeing if they're going to the same direction that you need to go.
I mean, I know that people do this, but I
Well,
didn't
yes.
know that it has a name, you know.
Well, yeah, it's called hitchhiking,
Yeah.
and it's kind of popular between
But
young people.
is it safe?
Well, the safety is other kind of thing, but what would I recommend if you're trying to hitchhike? Just if you really have to do it, don't go alone, as going alone is always much more dangerous. And what else? Try to look kind of good, and don't take every ride. If you see a man who is suspicious,
Yeah.
and you're trying to hitchhike, don't go for it. Just say no, I don't need you, and he's just he's gonna go away, and you can wait for another car to stop.
Have you tried it before?
Yes, I tried. I hitchhiked with my mom and also with Aidas in Lithuania. And I would like to say that if you're hitchhiking, for example, in not your native country or you're taking a longer ride, you can always look at the car number and text it to your friend or someone you know, for example, a relative, and tell them that you're hitchhiking right now and you're sitting in this car with this number. So that might help in case if something happened, like if something went wrong.
Yeah, that's very nice. We should like try this together.
Yeah. And for example, me and Idas, we're planning a holiday in April and we're going to hitchhike to Serbia. And yeah, we're also planning it in advance and we're looking for couch surfing. And right now, Idas would like to see more about this idea, free traveling.
Well, yes, couch surfing. I think you've heard of it also, and it is just living in other people's houses. As there's some kind of platform that you can just refer to people and say, "Are you going to take me?" And if they accept, you just live in other people's houses for absolutely for free.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay anything. Have you tried it?
Yeah, I did. I actually, when I was traveling to Budapest, I downloaded the app. I searched for people that are living in Budapest, and I tried to contact them. And my only advice is to make effort in your message and make effort in your request. Like, talk about yourself, talk about why you choose this person. Don't be just like a very short message, because you're giving the person a kind of an insight about you, that because he's gonna host you in his home and he's gonna take care of you for like say 3 days. So you should do your best to show your personality, show your motivation for traveling and motivation for choosing him and for coming to the country. That will make him trust you, that will make him feel, okay, I'm gonna choose this person between the 10 people that are contacting me and asking for the same request. That's what, I had a friend who tried the app and no one contacted her because she was like sending a very short message and she was like, I'm coming. She said the dates and that's it. Because that's why I'm asking to people to make effort, when
Yeah, because couchsurfing is meant to share the cultures and intercultural experiences.
exactly.
And when you're coming to the host, like he's expecting you to share your knowledge and to teach him something maybe, or to give him like advices.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's okay. You can.
if you just any other time, if you had doubts that you cannot travel because you don't have money, just keep in mind that there's always couch surfing and hitchhiking, and I think there are some other ways.
Yeah.
If you, I think you can find out on
I
other
mean,
ways.
there are like travel groups on Facebook
Mhm.
for women and for men, and like when if you decided to write a post and say that you're coming and you don't have money and you're trying to find a place, you'll find like for example in a women travel groups they are very supportive and they all have the same passion for traveling. So whenever they saw a post for a girl asking for something or needs help, they were like always there. They try to do whatever they can, and I'm sure that if the person is trying to travel that doesn't really have any money and just try to reach out, he can afford I don't know, a living for one day in someone's house by using this group.
Okay, I'm just wondering, where is this group? Like, how is it called exactly? On
It's like
Facebook?
women
Because I'm
travel
interesting.
groups, travel experiences for women. I'm gonna send it to you.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. And
Okay.
if you want to know it, also like contact us in a comment below our post, and we will send you
Yes,
the
exactly.
links.
Yes.
So yeah, as I said, you can't really have excuses for not traveling.
So, guys, thank you for being with us today. I hope you enjoyed our radio show. It was a pleasure to be here for you, and I just want to say that look not for excuses to travel, but look for opportunities. And like my mother would say, if you don't have 10 or 100 leva, you can always, if you have 100 friends, you will always manage and do your best, and you will always reach your destination. So yeah, thank you for being with us, guys.
Thank
and
you.
see-
Thank you so much, Благодаря.
Thank you, and see you next time.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye.
We love you.
Thank you so much for listening to us.
See you next time.